If you clicked on today's video, chances are you also scroll through way too many fashion TikToks and also have very many unsolicited takes on fashion and trends. Today, I thought it'd be fun to sit down and chat about 2023 trend predictions just for fun. I know absolutely nothing. I am not a fashion expert, just an enthusiast. And in fact, I definitely wore like the one high-end piece that I own just to like amp up my credibility. Also, I just want to brag about it because it's an Issey Miyake piece, but look at how she bounces. I mean, isn't that so fun? I know absolutely nothing about fashion. I am, in fact, a woman in STEM.
I am a woman in STEM.
I just like watching a ton of fashion review videos, scrolling on Pinterest through runway looks, both current and archival, and shopping for things I'm ultimately never going to buy. I've been trying to be way pickier about building my personal style and wardrobe. And so by the time that I'm like committed to purchasing an item, it's usually either sold out or it was way too expensive to begin with. So like, I'm not gonna be shelling that money out. Also, I would just like to note that I feel like I've been seeing a lot of these trend predictions. Am I actually predicting anything? Or am I just seeing common designs and common ways of styling and putting things together in silhouettes that are trending among some of the most popular designers right now? Probably just the latter. But I thought it would be fun to sit down and chat, talk about what I would personally want to incorporate in my wardrobe for this year. And if you're a fan of my knitting and crocheting content, I have some sneak peeks into some ideas I have for this year's projects. So yeah, let's begin. Actually, before we begin, I just wanted to say that you should by no means feel obligated to participate in any trend. And if anyone tells you that a garment or an article of clothing that you own is no longer trendy, so you should throw it out, they're stupid and don't listen to them. Don't purchase into trends if you don't see yourself actually utilizing and wearing the clothes. Plus, we all know by now that trends are cyclical, and if you truly need to get rid of it for some reason, try alternate options before just tossing it away. Host a clothing swap with friends, look up ways to upcycle it / DIY it. You could also probably update a lot of items that were trending last year into being something trendy this year. And if you really need to, donate it. Trends should only be used for inspiration purposes, like how to restyle clothes you already own, or help you figure out gaps in your wardrobe so that it can help you shop more purposefully. Okay, rant aside, now let's begin. The first thing I want to talk about is romantic balletcore. So last year we saw this rise in popularity in balletcore, hyper feminine trends. Check out my video styling 2022 trends if you want to see some cute outfit inspo. I promise they're still cute well into 2023. And I think that we're going to see this trend even more this next year. And I think we're gonna shift a little bit away from the super girly, like super balletcore, and a little bit more romantic, mature, sultry type of feminine balletcore, if that makes sense. I think we're seeing this with the incorporation of a lot of different textures and textiles that are really quite romantic and feminine. So we're seeing a lot of lace, specifically a lot of eyelet lace. Like, we're gonna start seeing these lace bodysuits, these lace dresses. Like, I like how a lot of these looks incorporated lace with other textiles, with other fabrics. I think it just makes the lace stand out even more, and I really love that delicate detail. Overall, it generally just feels like fashion is further exploring more romantic and mature themes, particularly by using sheer materials, really interesting cutouts, and strategically placed ruffles. Gothic looks became a lot more popular last year, and I think that's going to continue into 2023. But kind of conjoined with the romantic balletcore. Think like aesthetically like Black Swan, but maybe amp up the sexiness. I think too that last year we started seeing skirts and dresses layered over pants in more niche aesthetics, and I think that that's going to continue translating into like general population wear. But I think an easier way to introduce that is to do the skirt and pant in the same color and the same texture. And what I've been seeing on the runway is like these flared out like bubble skirt dress silhouettes on top of flared pants. And then they're like both sheer. So it doesn't look like too much, it almost looks like it's part of one fit, and I really like that. I think it's just so pretty and whimsical. It's really dramatic, but a little understated. I don't know, I just really like it. Okay, handkerchief hems is like the next thing that I've been seeing, slash like asymmetrical hems in general. I feel like it's kind of taking balletcore into tango core, if that makes sense. Basically, I'm just thinking about the types of hems that are super dynamic and would look amazing dancing the night away. I would be completely remiss if I didn't mention the 3D flowers and appliques and flower motifs and prints that we've been seeing absolutely everywhere. I think that this year we're really gonna amp up these little accessories, and I feel like these flower motifs are going to be extremely exaggerated, or they're going to be utilized as like 3D fixtures onto a garment. In the case of like the Loewe pieces, they'll inspire the silhouette of the garment itself, which I think is super cool, and I love it when fashion and garments play on the silhouette and like the physical form of the body, if you will. I'm really hoping that we get to see like succulents, flowers, plants like made into dresses, necklaces, tops, all of these things. Bags, that would be really fun. Honestly, I might be a little biased because I really want to crochet or knit like those 3D flower appliques and either use it in a garment or an accessory or something, so like keep an eye out for that. Bows. It simply wouldn't be balletcore without ribbons tied into pretty little bows. I think we'll continue to see them styled in hairstyles like we've been seeing in this past year, and like I'm loving it because there's so much good inspiration, everyone looks so freaking cute, and I need the hair girlies to post more tutorials because I don't know what I'm doing and I need help. But I think the bows will move onto our garments either in smaller, delicate, dainty little details, or as just like centerpieces, or potentially a combination of both. I actually knitted these mohair ribbons a while ago, and if you want the tutorial for it, it'll be linked down below. And I primarily use them as like hair accessories, just the hair ribbons that you've been seeing all over Pinterest. I think it would be super cute, stylized in different ways, either like just tacked on to different garments, or like used as a little choker, a little necklace, put a charm on it, you know, maybe a little bracelet. I think the last trend that I want to talk about under the romantic balletcore umbrella is this off-the-shoulder silhouette that we have been seeing a lot more of lately. I'm like realizing that a lot of these things I'm sharing is just stuff that I hope will be trendy in 2023, so like I have a better excuse to wear it. So like let's make it happen, you know? Personally, I love off-the-shoulder silhouettes because I love showing off my décolletage. I even have a knitting tutorial coming out for one very soon, so keep an eye out. Specifically though, I think that we'll be seeing these off-the-shoulder tops that are very ruffled or have some sort of interesting draping to them. So like whether it's like a twist, if there's just like a ruffled flowery details coming off of them, or it's like ballerina off-duty vibes where it's like very slouchy knits that are really just worn kind of casually off the shoulder. Next category is futuristic grunge. I feel like last year we saw subversive minimalism and this rise in utilitarian looks. I also styled them in my 2022 outfits. But specifically I think, and also I might be biased because I'm a big K-pop fan, but I feel like we've been seeing that like a QB, like cutout, like dune core, if you will. And I think that these cutouts and the subversiveness and the minimalism will remain, but I think it will become even more daring, interesting, and further potential tripping hazards. So the first thing I want to talk about actually is cutouts with a twist. We saw a lot of interesting cutouts last year, and I don't think that that's going away anytime soon, but instead of the cutouts being sort of recklessly slashed, I think they'll become a bit more purposeful, more embellished, embroidered, and draped in a way to really accentuate certain parts of the body, like your hips particularly, and your décolletage area. I've also been seeing cutouts in things like the boleros. So like I've been seeing like a lot of diamond cutouts like on boleros and in stockings and in tights, a lot of accessories. I feel like cutouts is always a thing that I want to buy in, but I always stop myself from buying it. But I think what is really fun is if the cutout is like a layered piece, or if the cutouts are in accessories. That I think is also a much easier DIY project to do, and I'm really excited to see like the different TikTok girlies do all these different DIYs, and I need more tutorials. I think like if I were to buy into this trend, I personally, again, I love the off-the-shoulder look. I love showing off my décolletage, so it would have to be something that is more purposeful and is more embellished. Personally, I really wouldn't get the cutouts on pants because I don't know what underwear to wear with them. I think that's the one thing that's actually really stopping me if I like sit down and think about it. I'm simply not enough of a girl boss yet, but it's okay, we're getting there. Or we don't have to, you know? Like if you don't see yourself wearing a particular trend, there is no pressure and no need to buy into it. Leather and hardware, I think is gonna be the next really big thing. And I love that designers are getting more playful with leather, especially with different colors and embellishments on the leather. I especially am a huge fan of the leather on leather looks. I think that they look so freaking cool. And these looks tend to give off like bad bitch who knows what she's doing energy, and like that's the energy I want to exude in 2023. Also, hardware is just absolutely everywhere. And I feel like we're going to see a lot of straps and harnesses that are sort of dangling off to the side haphazardly, used as accessories. Or I think what's really interesting too, we're gonna be starting to see these harnesses and straps used as like connections in between like the garment and then like your sleeve, or like shorts that connect to the rest of your pants, like things like that. Cargo pants, so popular last year, and I think it'll definitely continue into next year. But I think we're also going to start seeing a lot more diversity of garments becoming cargo-fied, aka just a lot of pockets, just like so many pockets. Very futuristic and utilitarian. And honestly, I really kind of like it. I think that we're going to start seeing like exposed pockets, and I think the exposed pockets helps to add like interesting flair to your silhouette. And also I have to imagine that they're like actually functional, right? Like, okay, feminine grunge. This general vibe I think is a combination of like the romantic balletcore with the futuristic grunge that I'm talking about right now. And I honestly really hope we see more of it in 2023 because it really mixes in like hardware, leather, utilitarian vibes with really feminine elements like sheer, lace, gowns, and it gives me my favorite effect, juxtaposition. Whether it's a pop of pink in an all black outfit or vice versa, a sheer lacy dress paired with harnesses, straps, and other hardware. I love it, and I simply need more looks inspired by this. Body armor slash shiny things. But I've been seeing so many different like metallic colors, metallic shades, really bright and punchy silvers and gold, and so many garments that have just shiny crystallized embellishments on them. I really hope that we'll start to see more inspired looks that incorporate these sort of shiny metallic elements. I just got this yarn that is to die for. It's so beautiful. It has sequins, I think they're called paillettes? On the actual yarn itself, and I really want to make a piece that's sort of reminiscent of this like chainmail body armor. So again, like I just have so many ideas. This is why I love looking up runway looks. Okay, this is like a personal rant, but I think that making my own clothes has really made me appreciate fashion, design, and construction a lot more, and it's also really helped to slow down my consumption of clothes because now I can't help but be like, oh, I could make that. My toxic trait as a knitter slash crocheter is just looking at something and being like, I could make that. But also like Genuinely though, and it's like a one of a kind sort of piece that only I have, only I can wear, and I think that's really cool, and I think that helps define your personal style. And making my own clothes has really made me appreciate the amount of work and time and effort it takes to create a garment of clothing. And because of that, I've become a lot more conscientious and purposeful in the way that I shop and the way that I purchase things, and I've just gotten a lot more creative with how I can style my outfits and not spend an exorbitant amount of money and, you know, buy into trends that I don't really see myself wearing all the time. And instead, like, I can make myself a little piece using some yarn I have and use it to layer to really sort of upgrade or update an item. Okay, this last category, I'm like definitely very biased. We're going to start seeing more repurposed wear and creative wear. So the first category is denim gone wild. Denim is such a classic textile, but I think in 2023, we're going to start seeing denim used in as many different garments as possible, paired together all at once. Plus, I think this is so exciting because it just opens up the possibilities of upcycling old jeans, and I am so excited to see the creative girlies on TikTok and YouTube this year. Also, I feel like I should have said this in the hardware section, but I'm gonna say it now. But I feel like we're gonna be seeing a lot of double belting this year. Maybe not in like the general populace, but we're gonna be seeing it with like the influencer girlies. I think they're gonna tend to be stacked like one on top of each other as like you would wear a regular belt, but you just have like another one accessorizing. Or you're going to start seeing belts being used like to hold up tops and then have another belt on the bottom. Could be a really interesting styling idea. And pretty easy to do yourself with things you already own. Okay, this one might be controversial, but bubble hems and modular clothing. I feel like I've been seeing some fashion girlies say that peplum is back, and I think they're right, but I definitely wasn't the biggest fan of it back in the day, so I really was not excited for this one. However, the updated peplum seems to be a lot more either casual or like hyper feminine sexy, because it seems like it's either in this like drop waist form that is like super easy to wear, but I think on the other end we're gonna start seeing the peplum being used as like more of like a baby doll dress silhouette, and it's gonna be like super short. However, I think the reason why I'm actually kind of excited for this, I've been seeing various skirts and dresses designs all over TikTok from small businesses with drawstring details so that you can actually adjust the length of your skirt slash dress so it can be like a maxi, a midi, a mini. So that led me to think that maybe modular clothing or clothing that you can just generally adjust to your own liking in general is going to become way more popular this year. I think 2023 is going to be the year of punky grunge. We can't talk about punk without mentioning Vivienne Westwood, who very sadly passed away recently at the end of last year. But I think her legacy lives on with the continued interest and surge in punk fashion and aesthetic. To me, the punk grunge look is dark, but I think in 2023 it's going to become way more creative, way more daring. Creative fiber arts. Okay, I admit it, I am really biased on this one, but I absolutely think and believe to my core that the versatility of like DIY crochet knit garments is completely unmatched. But I think it's really exciting that a lot more people are getting into crochet and knitting and making their own garments, and I think it's super cool that you don't have to be perfect at it. It's okay if you drop a couple stitches. In fact, that's kind of the look right now. This sort of like intentional distressing on your knitwear and your crochet wear. So I love seeing all of the creative crochet and knit pieces from last year, and I am so excited for this next year. I simply have way too many garments on my I want to create slash recreate these looks list. 2023 is the year of textures and patterns. We're gonna be seeing lots of fringe, very bold and loud prints. I think that this year we're gonna start seeing polka dots and stripes, but stylized in ways where it's like really clashing. We're gonna see like tiny polka dots against really big polka dots, really small stripes with really big stripes, a lot of sheer layered pieces, a lot of textiles that have been manipulated in really interesting ways. And the final thing that I think we'll start to see more of is decorated legs. This kind of bounces off from earlier when I was talking about the sheer layered skirt over pant effect in romantic balletcore, but I feel like it just in general, we're going to see the legs being decorated way more purposefully this year. I think this means a lot of colorful tights, pattern tights, lace tights, leather tights, knit mesh pants, and like ribbons repurposed and tied in all these interesting ways all over your legs. And honestly, I really want to make those mesh knitted pants because I think they just add such a cool texture to an outfit, particularly the ones that are like more distressed. I don't know. It just looks really cool. That's all I've got. Thank you for listening to me ramble on and on about fashion. And again, don't feel obligated to buy in and participate in trends, especially if you don't like it, if you don't see yourself wearing it and incorporating it into your own personal wardrobe. Accumulation of your personal interests is what creates your personal style and wardrobe. I think a lot of the times, like, people will try to sell you this idea that you can curate your personal taste and personal wardrobe in like a month, less than a year, you know, like a really short amount of time. I think personal style, personal wardrobe is really dependent on you and your life and your experiences. So it's okay to not have everything figured out. And I always think too, like, is this actually an outfit that I really like? Is this a silhouette that I really enjoy? Or is it just a pretty skinny girl? Because I'm not gonna lie, I think that some of the most creative and best outfit pairings are from plus-sized women. I think they're from women of color. I think they're from the LGBTQ community. And yeah, I'm just really excited for 2023. I'm really hoping to further refine and curate my personal style, add some really interesting new pieces. I hope you guys have had a good start to your year, and I hope 2023 is good for all of us. Remember to like and subscribe for more fashion, crochet, and knitting content, and I'll see you next time. Bye!